Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship, how you guys feel about it, and what actions you guys plan on taking towards this direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. We're going to get the overall energy for this connection first, and then we'll pull some tarot. What's the overall energy for this connection? So Virgo, we do have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So you're definitely letting go of the past. Ooh. This person has codependency attached to their energy. This person could have been extremely codependent off of you, Virgo. Codependency for me as a reader, it can definitely represent the devil in tarot. So this person could have brought a lot of toxicity and chaos and dysfunction and instability into your life. That's definitely a possibility, but you're definitely letting go of the past. The problem is that the past refuses to let you go. I am definitely getting that. So even though you're ready to let go of the past and clearly move forward and move on with your life, it kind of looks like somebody's not ready to let you go, Virgo. All right. We're going to focus on you first, and we'll jump over to your human. Just keep in mind that the roles can be reversed. How does Virgo currently view this relationship? Okay. So we have the Ace of Cups, we got the Ace of Swords, and then we also have the Ten of Swords. So it's just kind of like reiterating, you know, what I just said. You're definitely walking away from a very toxic and unhealthy relationship, Virgo. Now, even though it kind of looks like you didn't necessarily want to walk away from this person, I kind of feel like this person, you know, in a way forced your hand is like the best way that I could describe it. They kind of forced your hand. I am definitely getting that. But with the Ace of Swords to the Ace of Cups coming out here, you know, I feel like you're doing all this because at the end of the day, you know what it is that you deserve and what you don't deserve. And everything that you've been going through with this person in particular, you just kind of feel like you just don't really deserve all of this, you know, from them or anyone at that. So yeah, it looks like you found the strength and the courage within yourself to just let this person go. And move forward and move on with your life and make room, you know, for what you truly want, desire, as well as deserve. How does this person currently view this relationship with Virgo? Yeah, the Five of Wands, the Chariot, and then we also have, okay, alrighty then. Virgo, it kind of looks like this person's used to like you constantly forgiving them and taking them back. And the fact that we don't really see you forgiving them this time around and or taking them back, it does kind of have this person in full-blown panic mode, but it also has this person very angry and very upset with you, which I find to be very interesting, that they're very angry and upset with you. Yeah, Virgo, I just kind of feel like you're finally like standing your ground, right? And protecting your energy, you know, from this person and doing what you feel as though is best for you, which there's nothing wrong in what you're doing. But I don't know, I just kind of find it to be very weird that they're very angry and upset with you, that you're getting up and walking away from them and also protecting your energy from them. Like, in other words, they should be angry and upset with themselves, that they basically push you to this point instead of being angry and upset with you. Does that make sense? Hopefully. But yeah, instead of them being angry and upset with themselves, they're angry and upset with you, which you could be dealing with somebody who has a very difficult time taking accountability for their actions. That's definitely a possibility. I mean, that's the only thing that really makes logical sense here as to why they would be angry and upset with you. You know, they should be angry and upset with themselves. But if this person does have a difficult time taking accountability for their actions, it could explain why they're angry and upset with you and not angry and upset with themselves. But how does Virgo feel? All right, so we do have, ooh, okay. Who are you? Virgo, I feel like somebody's capturing your complete and undivided attention. Whoever they are, though, I like them. I really do like them. King of Pentacles is somebody who's very big on commitment as well as very big on loyalty. King of Pentacles is also somebody who is just known for being a provider, a protector. A King of Pentacles is somebody who, definitely does have a lot going for themselves. So this person might run a business or own their own business. But this person does come off to me as somebody who can clearly take care of themselves. They also come off to me as somebody who's looking for somebody that they can settle down with and build towards a life with, things of that nature. So currently at the moment, whoever this human being is, they're single. They're definitely single. And like I said, this person is really capturing your complete and undivided attention. I am definitely getting that. Tell me more about the Page of Wands. We have the Seven of Swords. We got the Ten of Wands. And then we also have the Four of Cups. Okay. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Page of Swords. I mean, I guess I get it. Virgo, even though I see this person capturing your complete and undivided attention, which I would like to look at them a little bit more, because I am definitely getting that just like you feel drawn to them, they feel very drawn to you, right? Just like you're really interested in them, well, they're very interested in you. However, something's definitely holding you back. And I feel like what's holding you back has a lot to do with this past relationship that you were a part of. Even though technically speaking, y'all are not together anymore, your loyalty, I guess, for this past relationship hasn't expired just yet, if that makes absolutely any sense. So by talking to this person and flirting with this person and, going on dates with them and getting to know them, it feels wrong to you. It feels wrong to you. It makes you feel like you're cheating on this person from your past, but technically speaking, you're not, because y'all are not together. I just kind of feel like your loyalty for this person from your past just hasn't expired yet, Virgo. Is like the best way that I can put it. Hopefully that makes sense, because it looks like talking to this person, getting to know this person, going on dates with this person, it makes you feel like you're cheating or being deceptive towards this person from your past that you're clearly no longer with. So, then there's that, Virgo. I just feel like your loyalty hasn't expired just yet in regards to this person from your past. Like, you're still loyal and faithful to this person from your past that you're not in a relationship with anymore, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that your loyalty just hasn't expired just yet. Tell me more about the King of Pentacles. Oh, Virgo. This person's so different. And it kind of makes sense as to why this person, definitely captured your complete undivided attention. They're just so different from this person from your past. They're nothing like them. And I think that that's what you like about this person the most, is that they're nothing like this person from your past. So it makes sense, it makes sense. This person also looks at you like you're very different. Like you're very, very different. You're not like any other, female that they've come into contact with, or dude that they've come into contact with, if you're a dude. You know what I mean, dude? Okay. How does this person from Virgo's past feels? Okay. All right. That's, I feel like that's the difference between this person over here and this person from your past. See, this person over here is somebody who can see your value and your worth. They don't have to lose you to realize that they have a good thing. You know what I mean? They could just identify it right away. So this is not somebody who needs to lose you to realize your value and your worth, unlike this person from your past. This is somebody who has to lose you to then realize your value and your worth. And that's basically what's happening here on this person's behalf. It's like, now that they've lost you, they're like a panic and mannequin over here, because they don't know what to do with themselves, let alone the situation they find themselves in with you. This is somebody who is obviously realizing what they just lost, and they're panicking and they're freaking out because they're trying to do, whatever it is that they can to salvage their marriage and a relationship, you know, with you. They just kind of are a little bit all over the place because they don't really know what to do to salvage their marriage and a relationship with you. So yeah, that's a difference. One thing that I am noticing about, you know, this person from your past versus this new person, you know, this person from your past, you know, somebody who has to lose you to then realize, oh man, I had a really good thing and I blew it. Let me go try to fight for this and make this right. You know what I mean? But with this person, like, they don't need to lose you to realize that they have a good thing. They just automatically can see it. You know what I mean? I just kind of feel like with this person, that you have so much history with, it's not that they don't see your value and or worth. I just kind of feel like with them, it's like, how do I explain them? Because they do come off to me as somebody who can clearly see your value and your worth. I think that with them, it's like they get so comfortable, you know, to the point where they start doing things within this dynamic that they share with you, thinking that they're never going to essentially lose you. You see what I mean? But see, with this King of Pentacles over here, they're different in that aspect because this person, they can see your value and your worth, and they can see how different you are compared to everybody else out there, which they really do love about you, Virgo. And they're not going to put themselves in that predicament to essentially lose you, to potentially end up with somebody who's like a fraction of 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 you and what you bring to the table. Because this person to the right of me, they come off to me as somebody who has enough life experience to know what's out there. And the likelihood of them finding someone like you in the relationship they have with you may not happen. Hence why they're coming back around your way to fight, to keep you and this dynamic that they once upon a time had with you in their life. But see, this person is not going to allow themselves to get so comfortable to the point where they're doing things to self-sabotage their relationship with you, because the likelihood of them ending up with somebody who is less than you is more likely to happen than to end up with somebody who's better than you. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does, but let's keep going. Like, these two are very different. Like, they're night and day. You know what I mean? What actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? Wow. Wow, Virgo, we do have the Three of Cups. We got the Three of Wands, and then we also have the Hierophant. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Star. That's nice. With the Page of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. To the Six of Pentacles. Wow. To the Emperor. I mean, it just keeps getting better. To the Queen of Pentacles. True pair situation here between you and this person. I mean, you guys are very compatible to one another. This person brings just as much to the table as, you know, you do. So you're definitely dealing with somebody of your caliber. I like this relationship for you. I really, really do. I think that you see their value and their worth, and I think that they see your value as well as your worth. I think that you're very serious about this relationship, and I think that they're also very serious about this relationship, you know, as well. You know, even though I don't see the two of you in a committed relationship with one another, what I do see happening here is the two of you getting to know one another. That's what I see happening, is the two of you getting to know one another and building a friendship with one another, because it kind of looks like that's how it's going to start, right? You guys just simply building a nice friendship with one another, and I think that it's going to essentially progress into something far more serious here between the two of you. The likelihood of this being the person that you end up getting married to is very, very, very likely to essentially happen, which makes sense. I think this person possesses everything that you truly want and desire within a person and then some. So yeah, it makes sense as to why this relationship will reach higher levels of commitment here, you know, between the two of you. But I gotta be honest, this person from your past, they don't even have a fighting chance with you at this point. Like, I think it's safe to say that this person has officially lost you for good. And here's why I say this. People typically have a hard time moving forward and moving on with their life after a breakup when they end up coming into contact with somebody who they consider to be less than the person that they were essentially dealing with prior. So in this case, Virgo, you're actually meeting somebody who's better than this person from your past. And the moment that you meet this person that's better, you know, than this person from your past, that's it. I mean, this person from your past lost you for good, because you're not going to turn around and throw this person in your relationship with them away to go be with this person who's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what this person brings to the table. You're just not going to do that. It doesn't make logical sense for anybody to do that. And nobody does that. Nobody leaves a good thing for something bad. You know, nobody leaves a healthy relationship for something toxic. Nobody leaves a relationship that brings, you know, everything that you truly want and desire for a relationship with somebody who can't even do that. You know what I mean? So yes, I see them fighting to keep this dynamic here between the two of you intact and afloat, but in my personal opinion, I do feel like this person's wasting their time, because this person would have had a better chance at winning you back if you would have came into contact with somebody who was like a fraction of them and what they bring to the table. But that's not playing out for you, Virgo, like that. What's happening is that you're moving forward and moving on with your life, and you're stumbling across somebody who just so happens to be better than this person from your past. So yeah, the likelihood of you getting back with this one over here, yeah, not gonna happen. The likelihood of you accepting this person back into your life, yeah, that's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna leave something really, really good that brings everything that you want and desire in your life for something that doesn't do that for you, aka your relationship with this person from your past. Ooh, okay, we have the Justice card. What actions? Well, we have the Justice card to this, well, Justice card to the Moon, and then we also have the Queen of Cups with the Six of Cups, and then we also have the Five of Pentacles. Here we go with the Ace of Wands to the King of Wands. To the Knight of Pentacles, to the Judgment card, to the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, this person's just basically confirming the difference, right, between this new person that you're connecting with versus this person that you were dealing with in your past. This is that type of person that needs to lose a good thing to realize that they had a good thing. This person that you're gonna find yourself, dealing with, or are currently dealing with, this is somebody who doesn't necessarily need to lose you to realize, oh man, I had a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, no. These two are like night and day, my friend. Like night and freaking day. Okay? Like, just night and day, Virgo. You're definitely leveling up in the love department. That's one thing that I will say. King of Wands, man, is like, King of Wands, man, is like somebody who's like a headache and a freaking half, unfortunately. It's hard to build a life with a King of Wands like energy, because they're so immature, because they play a lot of games, because they don't really know what it requires and or it takes of them to build and, sustain, a marriage or relationship. They're just too immature, to be honest. They're just too immature, and they play too many games, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Virgo. But when it comes down to what actions they plan on taking your direction and are moving forward, I feel like this person's so confused by the fact that you refuse to, forgive them, because you always forgive them. I feel like this person's so confused by the fact that you're really like getting up and moving forward, moving on with your life, because this person thought that, you were in love, with them. So the fact that you're doing this to them, it is kind of, confusing them. And they are very, very much so taken back by it. Very much so taken back by it. But I say this a lot in my readings, but I feel like this person, their actions and their behavior has essentially pushed you further and further and further away. The problem is that they don't realize what they're pushing you towards. Does that make sense? I feel like this person, because they thought that you were in love with them and you just couldn't picture or fathom, I guess, your life without them, that they thought that they would be able to essentially keep you forever, not realizing that what they were really doing here was pushing you further and further away, but also not realizing that they're basically pushing you towards this person. They might as well be pushing you into this person's arms at this freaking point, because that's what their actions and their behavior has essentially been doing here. Pushing you away, not realizing that they're not only are they pushing you away, causing you to not want anything to do with them, they're pushing you into a whole nother man's arms or a whole nother woman's arms. Hopefully that makes sense. They just don't realize that, and it's very narcissistic if you think about it, but I feel like this person thought that they could get away with whatever it is that they want in this relationship because, you love them, Virgo, and you're in love with them, and, you're never going to leave them because, you're in love with them, not realizing that that's just not the case. Like, we could think whatever we want about a person, you know what I mean? We could think a person's so madly in love with us that they'll never leave us. We could think whatever it is that we want. Doesn't necessarily make it true. And I feel like that's kind of where they went wrong. They were over here thinking that, you're just this person that's just madly in love with them, and you just can't even picture or fathom, your life without them. So, they're good. You're never going to go anywhere. So, yeah, There's that. But, you know, I can think unicorns are real all day long. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are. You know what I mean? Doesn't necessarily mean that they are. So unfortunately, I would say for them, it kind of looks like, yes, you know, I guess they did definitely lose you for good, but they lost you for somebody, over someone, I'm sorry, who's better than them. And a King of Wands is somebody who's full of ego and pride, by the way, just letting you know. King of Wands is full of ego and pride. Full of ego and pride. So with that being said, it kind of explains as to why, you know, they're harnessing this energy, as far as being angry and upset with you because you got up and walked away without, you know, instead of them being angry and upset with themselves and what they did to kind of push you to this point. You know what I mean? That they're just too prideful to admit, you know, that they pushed you away. They're just too prideful, you know, and egoistic, unfortunately. But this person will definitely find out at some point in time, Virgo, that you've officially moved forward and moved on, you know, with your life. You know, I mean, it's going to happen. And I feel like it's going to bruise their ego beyond belief, you know, but you're definitely moving forward and moving on with your life. And I can't emphasize this enough. This person that you're essentially meeting, the only reason why you're meeting them is because they push you directly towards them in some way, shape, or form. They push you directly towards them. Now, did they mean to do this on purpose? No, of course not. Of course not, Virgo. Like, of course not. They didn't mean to do all this on purpose. They didn't mean to push you into a whole nother person's arms. They didn't mean to do all of this because they honestly didn't. Nor did they think that this would happen, but that's exactly what's happening here. I mean, geez, this is somebody that is of your caliber, Virgo. I mean, this is somebody who brings just as much to the table as you do. Like, this is somebody that you could actually build towards a life with. This is somebody that you can lean on. This is somebody that you could depend on. You know, I mean, what's there not to love about this person? But see, with this one over here, it's like you can't really lean on them. You can't really lean on them. You can't really build with them. You can't really do much with them. You know what I mean? So, you know, with that being said, I think that this person is, you know, unfortunately gonna have to, you know, accept the fact that they really did drop the ball here when it came down to you. And that's gonna be a hard pill, you know, for this person to swallow. And the main reason why it's gonna be so hard for this person to swallow this pill is because they were running with this whole belief that, oh, well, Virgo's in love with me. They're never gonna leave me. They're never gonna yada, yada, yada. And it kind of looks like that's exactly what you did, you know, just because you think something of a person doesn't make it true, you know, and that's just the reality of the situation. This is why it's going to be so hard for this person to swallow this pill, because what you're either currently doing or about to do, it's not something that they ever foresaw or expected from you. If that makes any sense. I'm also getting history repeating itself. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about for this person, but history is repeating itself over and over and over and over again. In other words, there's a possibility that this person could have gone through this, you know, in a previous relationship, but history is just constantly repeating itself in this human's life. And it's like they're falling into this energy of like, woe is me. And, you know, this always happens to me. And this is not fair. And why me? And what did I do so wrong? And it's like, I mean, we could sit here and point out where they went wrong, but I don't think that it's going to really matter because they don't think that they did anything wrong. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So, I mean, this person can think that they didn't do anything wrong. Doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't. Just like I can think unicorns are real. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are. Just like this person thinks that you're madly in love with them, you'll never get up and walk away from them. Doesn't necessarily mean that you never will, because it looks like that's exactly what you're doing. You see what I mean? So yeah, but I think that's just something that this person's going to have to learn on their own. The fact that history is repeating itself in this person's life, you know, they should definitely take it as a sign, because I'm a firm believer that nothing in this life happens just because. There's always a meaning and a purpose behind it all. And if history is constantly repeating itself in this person's life, then that's something that this person should really look into and figure out why is that. But that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading.